Hey guys, happy Sunday everyone. Welcome to our weekend episode of the Daily Stock Market Insights. This is Miss JD once again. And thank you to those people who have watched our video last over the weekend. So yesterday I created a video showing my portfolio in my eToro account. And guys, the objective of that video is just merely for me to document my trades so that someday if I want to look back into my previous setups, I could use that video as a reference. So probably I'll be recording a, on a regular basis some of my setups as well in my portfolio, either in the Philippine market, because I know I also created the ones for my COL for the same objective. Okay, nothing to brag, not to brag or anything. I did not even show the actual amount in my portfolio, but just to show the entries and the average price I entered at and the current price. So for a reference in the future. Okay, so also thank you to those people who have dropped a comment and requested. I'd like to dedicate this episode to Logarius. He is one of our friends in Instagrams. He requested for Meg, Mart, and Green to be added. Okay, I will prioritize that, Logarius. Thank you for trusting Miss JD in the insights here. Hopefully, I will be able to help you in your trades. And yeah, let us go ahead and start our analysis. Okay, we'll first check the index. Okay, so yeah, last Friday we were able to end around 7,134. So it's a red candlestick, and this for me is a sign of weakness, but well, we do not know if it is going to totally drop below the MA20 line, but given the setup right now, the nearest support I can see would be a 7,005 level, because that is where our MA20 is currently seated at. See that? So who knows? We will just be stabilizing um, in this level and continue to break out. So what we are looking forward to see is for it to break out of the 7,200 level. However, if it is going to decline, given that we had a red candlestick last Friday, the chances of it touching the 6,900 level again is possible. And what we're, of course, wanting to happen here is just see a bounce at this level. So guys, as you can see, we're now back at the area, okay, very close to the area before the pandemic. Okay, so this is now, if I may say, we were at this level before the issue happened. So probably most of the stocks in the index are already recovering to the price level before the pandemic days. Let us see which of those stocks are already in that level. And let us also see which among these stocks still have a good upside or good potential for growth or some more room for recovery. Okay, so there you have it. So 6,997 is a possible support. And as what I mentioned, we'll go ahead and check out the other stocks. I'll prioritize. I will prioritize Meg. For Meg, huh. So I'm not really sure where you entered Lugarius, but looks like Meg has already been rallying for quite some time now. Since November, this is a solid bounce. And I would have to say we are very near a resistance area. In fact, the level where it is at right now, it's already a considered resistance because of one, this one, and of course a slightly higher than that is still considered a resistance because of these points over here. What I can say is try to see if the price. Okay, let me just plot it there. Okay, there it is. Let us see if the price starts higher than 4.02 tomorrow and then continue to push the price higher. However, just be extra careful. The moment you see a red candlestick by tomorrow, I would have to say consider locking in some profit at that point, because that could already signal as a possible retracement or correction in the coming days. See this? 2 points touching the resistance area, and notice how your RSI behaves, declining. Okay, you see that? That means people already are starting to feel that this level is becoming a little bit expensive, and I'm thinking if it is going to retrace, it could potentially drop back at the MA20 line. Okay, so I'm using a Bollinger Band, and the one at the center here is just the default setting, where we have MA20 here as the middle line. So that is my inference at this point in case you see a red candlestick by tomorrow. But who knows? We could even break a resistance. In a lot of occasions, resistance levels can be broken, especially when there's really, really good volume. Okay, so volume is just of the average level. Wow, there's a dividend on the 15th. So if you're in it for long term, then probably just buy some more when it dips. Just make sure that you still have the stock the first minute of December 15th. Okay. If you're anticipating to get a dividend, if you enter on the 15th, you're not qualified, because the first minute of December 15th, the system has to see that you already are in that position in that particular stock, and then you will be qualified. But if you are about to enter on this day, that's why it's considered X date, because that date is excluded. Okay, so just bear in mind that. Okay, so again, if you're a long-term investor, when it drops, then just add more volume, because overall, if you're to look at it long term, there's still a big potential for this stock to grow some more. Next, it's Mart. Mart is also giving us some signs of weakness here. It touched the resistance at this point. I'm looking at this area as our resistance, and we're already slowly seeing some signs of weakness in this level. You see that? Your RSI is declining while we are just stabilizing in this level over here. So if this stock is really bullish, this is probably what you can do. I'll remove this first because that is a resistance, but there's what you call a flag pattern that you can also observe right here. So this is, I'm not very good with terms, but it's like there's a flag, right? Because this could be your base, this could be the base of your flag, and then either way, the moment it breaks out of this downtrend resistance, so this is your resistance, declining resistance. At the same time, it's also ascending, so it's like an ascending or asymmetrical triangle formed here. So if it breaks out of that resistance level, then you have a good possibility that there is a continuation to the upside. However, if it starts breaking this uh, ascending support, then chances are we are going to retrace some more and probably drop up to the 5.20 level. Okay, so at least our triangle now is very we're already at the edge of the triangle, so it's possible that the decision making day could be tomorrow. But I'm just plotting the key levels, so just in case it drops. So this is your MA20 line. If it drops, the chances of it dropping at the 4.24 is still high. Okay, but definitely imagine this, how much has it already grown in just a span of what, less than a year. So this is an example of a growth stock. We have already grown by almost 400% from the time it reached its lowest point of 130. Okay, so if you are already profitable, the moment you see a decline here, another red candlestick forming below this support area, then probably you can lock in some profit and just catch it if it drops some more. Next would be green. Let's take a look at green, and after that we'll go sort our trending stocks. Okay. Wow, green has been on a very bullish move uh, from the time actually the pandemic started. Our lockdown started back in March. So I'd say this is already at a glance at a very expensive level. This is a 300% gain from the time we reached the bottom. Okay, so I would have to say be extra careful. We're already moving below the MA20 line. See that? There was a trigger last Thursday, and then there was a validation on a Friday. So I would have to say um, the chances of it dropping, for me, I'm seeing that possibility. Okay, so maybe, of course, we have to do it one layer at a time. If it is going to drop some more, I'm seeing 2.44. 2.44 is our next level because I see this area being a resistance, and yeah, we're very close to that. So we could even have some stabilization here and it continues to go up. But if it continues to go down, then we again go to the next key level, which is around 225, and so on and so forth. Okay, but definitely, uh, let's see. We're already halfway. We're halfway. If you're a long-term investor and you are already profitable, I'd say if you want to add more volume when it drops, then you may do so. But if you want to manage your portfolio without adding, right? So if you're already profitable, lock in some profit by selling some of the shares, and then when it drops, use the buying power to re-enter. Although at that point, your average will, let's say your average is around 0.85. If that happens, your average will still be green. Your portfolio will still be green, but your new average could now be around 1.04 or 1.05, around that level, because you already locked in some profit. When you re-entered, it's way higher than your base, but at least you made sure that you have locked in that gain. Okay, so that's for green. Those are my 2 cents. Okay, right. So there you have it. Those are the first three. Now let's take a look at the other stocks here. Okay, let me just. Wow, Dito, our favorite. All right. So 4.3 million on foreign buying last Friday. Okay, so interesting. And then your volume, comparing it with the previous days, your last 3 days volume here started to increase. Did you see that over here? Okay. So what I can say here is that with 4 million of foreign buying, volume starting to increase, we're not in the overbought level yet. Um, the possibility of us breaking the 7 peso area would be really high. Okay. At the same time, I was also reading some entries here in the social media feed. If I'm not mistaken, if you guys were able to see that, I think they're already starting to do a trial to their employees. They issued I know they issued SIM cards for their employees to try out. If you have seen that post over here. So that's already a good sign. We are seeing some progress, although I think one cause of delay here. I don't know if it is going to really cause a delay, but I think that's just noise in the background. Um, One of the senators, poll, they wanted to revoke the franchise of the third telco, but I think that's a far-fetched. Yeah, with the government, especially the president, supporting the third telco, I think we're already almost. But there's this the one. That's the SIM card. Is this even the official one? So they want to revoke the franchise. I don't think that is really going to happen. We are supported by the government. The way I'm voicing it out, I'm so passionate. Yeah, I know. I am in a position, Dito, but I'm not hyping, guys. It's just that based on what I have seen, the towers, the progress in their in the development of their implementation in the implementation of their business. Of course, we are seeing some progress. So I think it's really going to give us some more bullish actions in the coming days. So the probability of it breaking, in fact, giving us a gap up by tomorrow would be high. So that is what I'm anticipating. Although, if you want to be very sure with your moves, there's still this room for a possible pullback here. You have your MA20 line. In case it drops, it will just probably stabilize around the 648 level. But between that dropping and then between price breaking the resistance, I see a big possibility that the price is going to break the 6.92 or 6.98 level. Okay. The next one is BDO. BDO short term wise, we are very near a resistance around 110. That was the previous resistance. And volume is starting to move up again. So we had a declining volume over here when it was dropping, and then we're slowly recovering from that. And foreign buying is still present. I think institutions are already accumulating volume for the stock to in time for the stock's full recovery in the coming weeks. So this used to be around the 161 level. So let us see if it is going to break our resistance, short-term resistance here at the 110.47. This one, on the other hand, let us see, 51 million in foreign buying. We're currently sitting at a resistance area. Okay, let us still see. Okay, let us observe, because if this is going to give us a another red candlestick, this could simply mean that we are still respecting the downtrend channel. What we want to see here is a breakout of that channel, and that means one green candlestick could already confirm that. Otherwise, if we have another red right here, it could challenge your previous support once again, which is this level 79.65. Okay, right? Did you get that? Breakout of this downtrend channel could mean continuation to the upside. If you see another red formed by tomorrow, then it could probably drop around 79.65 and possibly just stabilize there before it goes up again. Overall, with December, we're already in December, and normally during December's people have more money because there's 13th month. See that? So those are the possibilities. Let's take a look at MBT. Okay, for MBT, we are also situated at a resistance level. This is a resistance. Do you see this? Here in this level, that used to be a resistance. And we're also having one right over here. So also overbought level, declining momentum while the price was moving higher. Okay, so if this is going to retrace, let's just check within this key level. What I'm going to do here is just put an area around this area. Okay, that could be the area of bounce. If it is going to drop, could be around here or around this level. So it is an area between 46 to 47. That could be the area of bounce. However, if we are really going to have some bullish, because this is the outlier in the equation, there's 32 million in foreign buying. That could simply also mean that foreign investors are showing interest in this stock, and who knows, we could have a breakout if it starts higher than 51.35 or 51 level, and we end one candlestick outside of that line or higher than that line, then we have a breakout play for MBT. Overall, MBT also has some good upside here if you're a long-term investor. So probably some of our foreign investors are already around this level. They have already been accumulating, and we're already starting to move higher and higher. So guys, mind you, we're already starting our uptrend or our bullish move here. So if there is a decline, declines here could just be temporary, like this one, right? 3 days of red and then it goes up again. We might even have the same movement too if the stock is really bullish. 3 4 days of being red and then recovers again, creating some higher lows. Then we still have some uptrend. Overall, we're still in an uptrend if you are to look at it. Very, very steep. But if it declines, just catch it around 46 to 47.50. Okay, SMPH. SMPH, we're already at the MA20 line, but in the event, okay, so we are already at a support level. In the event that breaks the support, then chances are it would go back to probably this area, 35. It could go back to this level, 34.74 to 35 area. What we are anticipating is that hopefully with this solid 359% down, we will just stabilize here at the support level and then continue to move up again. So, but then I'm just putting that as a support just in case. Yeah, however, if there is one candlestick formed lower than the 37 area, then don't take action yet. I know it's already cheap, but we could still haggle for a few pesos and enter probably around 34.74 as the next possible support. The next is Ali. Ali is also creating a resistance at this level. This is your resistance short-term wise, 40.32. See that? Resistance, resistance. What's interesting here is that it dropped and recovered on the same day. So if you're able to catch it, like for those scalpers or intraday traders, they must have already taken a good 3.93% gain in just a span of a day. It's a good job. Okay, so that is resistance for Ali at the moment. But if you're a long-term investor, let's take a look at how much can you still gain from this stock. Let's see. At one point, it reached a high of 53%. That was the highest, and we're already halfway there. So just monitor for position traders. This is not an ideal setup because for position traders at this level could have been the more attractive area. Around this, for me, if I'm going to enter, it would be around this here, this candlestick over here. I'll find my entry at this point. Okay, that's for Ali. JFC is also in my portfolio, and the weight is slowly giving us some good payoff here. I have not exited yet because I still see a lot more um, good possibilities here, right? Also, short term wise, well, we just experienced a breakout here, you know. This one used to be the resistance, and we just started a brand new wave for this stock. So when we break out of that, so I would always draw this, guys. It will normally do this and then retest this area and then continue the uptrend. So we don't know if it is going to go all the way up and then go back um, with a very significant decline, or it's just going to happen within a week and retouch this. What's ideal here is that, you know, you have that long wick touch the previous resistance and then bounce again real time or same day. But definitely, I see a new support around the 199 area. Okay, so just hang in there, guys. Jollibee is a stock good for long term. I hope you have already entered and accumulated volume right at this level because this is giving us some more bullish movements in the coming days, especially December. You know, um, during the in normal occasions, Jollibee would be the number one provider of food in all Christmas parties. But let's see, I don't know. But I'm still anticipating a lot of Jollibee moments in almost all households. I'd say I'd be very extra careful with this stock because we're still moving below the MA20 line, and we had a rejection the moment the price reached the MA20. So we might have another red and probably revisit this key level over here. Hopefully, it just stops there. If it stops there, then good. We might have a bounce. But if it breaks this, then this would simply mean that there's still a continuation of the downtrend. Because what just happened right now is this stock just created a lower high. So if the bearish sentiment is still strong, chances are it will break this next support and probably create a lower low. And probably the next low at this point, I'm anticipating it to be around the 112 level. Okay, so something like this. This go down, and then we don't know if this is going to create a resistance right here and then continue downwards again. Right, so I'm forming this support and this support as the two key levels. But by tomorrow, I'm anticipating possibly some more profit taking that will happen, ending the day with another red. The next one, RLC. RLC, wow. I see a resistance very near. Okay, this stock has already been climbing up, and notice the volume as it goes higher. We don't have that much volume. After this long red over here, the volume is not that huge yet. So I'm thinking, try to see the price action the moment it touches the 20.04 area. There is still some, I don't know how many is this, how much is the possible growth here. That could be a next 4.6 to 5% increase. And let's see if a red is formed. Okay, so I'm not saying it will drop automatically, but in case some signs of weakness come out during when it reaches the 19 or 20 peso area, then probably we can consider locking in some profit. Otherwise, this time around, I'm addressing this to the mid to long term investors. And let's say you have already entered somewhere at the bottom. Just hang in there. If it drops, add more volume, meaning buy some more, because you already had a good base over here when you entered at the lowest point. So the potential of this stock at the moment, I'm looking at around 28 peso level, because this used to be the highest point. Oh, there's still actually more around this, but this should be the first ones we need to aim for at the moment. 28 level. SECB. SECB is, wow, we had a good breakout over here and a continuation. Let us see if it will continue to move higher and higher. But mind you guys, look at how attractive your chart is. So we are now recovering, okay? We are recovering. So expect that as we move higher and higher, retracements are also, or corrections are also going to happen. And that's part of the journey. And just remind yourself of what your objective is and why you're entering this stock. I know a lot of you are in SECB for mid to long term purposes. So don't get carried away when you see some red days, because that's part of it. Unless there's some news which is not covered in our discussion, because most of my insights are based on technicals. Try to understand the impact of the news to the chart. Some news would just be noise, okay? But try to also understand how it is going to impact the business long term, mid to long term wise. Okay, so one example, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a post in Instagrams about uh, an accident in the South Superhighway. I'm not sure what road they're building, and I think it was MY. I don't know whose project was that, SMC, but the company, they attributed it to the company, and they're worried about the negative impact of that accident to the price of the company's performance the next day. And I'm thinking that accident is an isolated case. It won't really create much effect on the performance. So those things, right? There could be some news, but try to understand the possible effect of the news mid to long term wise. There could be some retracements, but if you already have a good base, those retracements are like 1 to 2 days worth of retracement, and then there will be a continuation. So this is also what I am expecting for this stock. Okay, I have not really seen the news yet, but that's your assignment. So if there is going to be some retracements over here, and you already have a good base, the nearer you are to the 124.66, my recommendation is buy some more at this point, because you're still at a very healthy level. The uptrend has just started, I would have to say, right? At least it did not climb so steep, right? There was a consolidation first. It makes the uptrend more sustainable. So anywhere from 124 to 134 is still a good buy for SECB. JGS, JG Summit. JG Summit is not looking good. This is a solid red. There wasn't even a wick in last Friday's performance. So what I am anticipating is there could be some more. There could be a continuation of a red day by today, by tomorrow. Okay. So the next possible support I'm looking at would be around the 65, 66 level for this stock. So if you're already profitable, consider locking in some profit and then probably buy it as it dips, and at least you still have you were able to regain that share and just locked in some profit, right? So that is for JGS. I think that will be my first part. I am going to record another one so that we are able to prepare before tomorrow's market performance. All right. By the way, guys, I just like to uh, share that I am in Patreon. I have a Patreon account. In Patreon, I analyze stocks and I recommend stocks. Okay, here I just review them. But in Patreon, I share my picks to our members. At the same time, I also check out the stocks in the US market. I am very active in the US market, and I also share some stock picks I have there. And yeah, and a lot of more research. Okay, I do research a lot, and I post my findings in my Patreon account, and you may also join us there. The link is in the description box. And if you are also starting to appreciate the beauty of the U.S. Or a global market, trading in the global market is not that complicated. In fact, it's very cheap. The fees, if you are going to trade straight without borrowing money, you don't use leverage, buying and selling in the US market. Buying, I mean, you bet for a stock to go up, and then when you close the trade, you're not charged any fee. Unlike in the Philippine market, you buy, and then there's a fee. When you close your position, there's also a fee. So come to think of it, trading, investing in the US market, in the global market using eToro is even cheaper than trading in the Philippine market. Okay, so just take note of that. However, in eToro, if you bet on a stock to go down, even if you are not going to use money, that's when they charge a minimal fee. Okay, so but between the two, most of my trades are really long term, meaning I bet on the stock to go higher, and I don't pay any fee. So just some pointers there. Okay, so if you're interested in investing, trading in the U.S. market, my eToro link is down below. If you click on that and create an account through that link, you'll be supporting Miss JD. All right. So I think that is for my part one. If you like the content, please hit the like, also subscribe so that we will grow our community here. In the meantime, thank you and bye-bye.